Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. That's how we keep the show going. And one of the things that keeps going is how the DNC, people are still bringing up blaming Russia, right? I've talked about on the show all the things Russia has not done. Russia didn't prevent Hillary from she didn't campaign in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania in 2016. Russia didn't do that. They blame Jill Stein, all this stuff. Well, guess what? It's just come out that the DNC has hired Crowdstrike to frame Russia for the hack. This just came out October 4th. U.S. Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe recently declassified information indicating the CIA obtained intelligence in 2016 that the Russians believed the Clinton campaign was trying to falsely associate Russia with the so-called hack of DNC computers. CIA Director John Brennan shared the intelligence with President Obama. So it wasn't Trump going after her. The CIA director appointed by Obama gave the information to Obama in 2016. They knew, in other words, that the DNC was conducting false Russian flag operation against the Trump campaign. The following is an exclusive excerpt from The Russia Lie that tells the amazing story in detail. So, but one thing of like, if Pompeo just came up with this, you could say, well, is Pompeo just, Trump told him, go find some information and make it look like, it'd be hard to suspect. It'd be hard to believe, Pompeo, who's just a horrible liar, who admits to lying, appointed by Trump. It would be hard. But John Brennan, appointed by Obama, tells Obama. So you remember, everybody believed Seth Rich was the one who took it was the DNC servers, the leaked emails, right? And then Seth Rich was mysteriously killed in a mugging that still hasn't really been investigated, where they didn't take his fancy watch, they didn't take his wallet, they didn't take his money, they didn't take anything that would seem like a robbery gone bad, right? The Podesta emails were on WikiLeaks, just giving everybody a little history lesson. If there's anybody who didn't really follow this 4 years ago, you really believe Russia was part of this, I'm sorry. Did Russia spend $100 grand on Facebook ads? Yeah. Yes, that was confirmed by Congress. Google said Russia spent a whopping $4,700 on ads. Wow, $4,700. Hillary Clinton's $1.5 billion was no match for $4,700 plus $100 grand, so $105 grand. Wow. But it's the thing all of us who've been following this have been saying, because here's what the DNC leaked emails showed. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was cheating. The DNC then fired her as the head of the DNC, and she was then hired by the Hillary campaign, just showing more corruption. Donna Brazile, the email showed her giving Hillary questions ahead of a debate. I'm not making this up. This isn't conspiracy. And then Donna Brazile was fired by CNN. That's a fact. This is a matter of public record. She now works for Fox News. And rather than the DNC going, man, you caught us, we cheated, we got to overhaul this, they doubled down. This is Clinton craziness. Clintons can never admit fault. They could never admit they're wrong. Even if they apologize, there's always some strategy around it, right? But this shows Obama's CIA director. On March 19th, 2016, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta. Again, in the Podesta emails, we see all the corruption. We see all the creepy references to pizza. John Podesta himself doesn't refute these emails. That's never refuted. It'd be one if the emails were doctored. If somebody got a hold of John Podesta's emails and they just said, oh, hey, how are we going to run the campaign in this state and that state? And then they doctored him and changed it. He could refute that very easily. A computer forensics expert could say that these are fake emails. They weren't. So no one's ever disputed the validity of the email. So this is what you do when you're a defense lawyer, like when Hillary Clinton defended rapists and went after female rape victims. This is what you do. You denounce where the evidence was acquired, how it was acquired, because the evidence shows that you're guilty. So that's what they're saying. So rather than talk about what's in the Podesta emails, they shift the conversation to Russia hacked our servers. So Russia's throwing elections now. Russia's hacking our servers. Oh, guess what we're not talking about anymore? All the damning evidence of the Clinton campaign, Podesta, the DNC, all of their corruption, and the creepy pizza stuff, which they didn't flagrantly say they're having sex with children, but there's all these weird references to pizza. And the FBI says that pizza is used by pedophiles in online code discussing about sex trafficking and pedophilia. I just want you to know what that is. So March 19, 2016, Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, surrendered his emails to an unknown entity in a spear phishing scam. This has been called a hack, but it was not. Instead, it was a sort of flim-flam hustle that happens to gullible dupes on the internet. The content of the emails was beyond embarrassing. They showed election fraud and coordination with the media against the candidacy of Bernie Sanders. Bernie still could have ran as an independent, could have ran with Jill Stein. Jill Stein came to him in 2016 when he was screwed by the DNC. She came to him and said, Bernie, you run as president. I'll be your VP. Had he done that, maybe he would have won. It would have rocked our political system. It would have changed so much. No. The DNC and the Clinton campaign needed a cover story. Blaming Russia would be a handy way to deal with the Podesta emails. There was already an existing Russia operation that could easily be retrofitted to this purpose. The problem was that it was nearly impossible to identify the perpetrator in a phishing scheme using computer forensic tools. The only way to associate Putin with the emails was circumstantially. The DNC retained a company that called itself Crowdstrike to provide assistance. Crowdstrike's chief technology officer and co-founder, Dmitry Elprovovich, is an anti-Putin Russian expat and senior fellow at the Atlantic Council. With the Atlantic Council in 2016, all roads lead to Ukraine. Joe Biden's ties to Ukraine, Hunter Biden. The Atlantic Council's list of significant contributors includes Ukrainian billionaire Viktor Pinchuk. The Ukrainian energy company was paying millions to an entity that was funneling large amounts to Hunter Biden months after he was discharged from the U.S. Navy for drug use. Burisma also appears prominently on the Atlantic Coast donor list. Pinchuk was also a big donor between 10 and 20 million to the Clinton Foundation, one of the most corrupt foundations out there. So this is what the Clinton Foundation has always done. This is why her not getting elected was crushing them financially. People donate to the Clinton Foundation to get favor because the Clintons were always in power. He was president for 8 years. She then became a senator and then was Secretary of State. So 20 countries that donated to the Clinton Foundation in around 2007, early 2008, all got defense contracts when she was Secretary of State. So when she lost in 2016, she was so arrogant and lost because she didn't campaign. She wanted to be home in her own bed every night, didn't campaign in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Rather than go Hillary Clinton, and in the Podesta emails, her own campaign staff was like, this is a mistake. This campaign strategy isn't working. We're going to lose if she keeps doing this. Not my words, her campaign staff's words. So this is how the Clinton Foundation works. So that's why when she lost, she had to keep screaming Russia and get this book out, because if the Clintons aren't in any power anymore, then what's the point of donating to their foundation? See? So anyway, he donated between 10 and 20 million to the Clinton Foundation. Back in 2015, the Wall Street Journal published an investigative piece, Clinton Charity Tapped Foreign Friends. The piece was about how Ukraine was attempting to influence Clinton by making huge donations through Pinchuk. Foreign interference, anyone? Why aren't we talking about that? What is the thing that I say, right? When someone is really guilty of something, they accuse you of the thing they're guilty of. The Clintons have all these ties to the Ukraine and Russia, so why don't we just say Russia, Russia, Russia? In June of 2016, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange announced, "We have upcoming leaks in relation to Hillary Clinton. We have emails pending publication." 2 days later, Crowdstrike fed the Washington Post a story headlined, "Russian government hackers penetrated DNC, stole opposition research on Trump." The improbable tale was that the Russians had hacked the DNC computer servers and got away with some opposition research on Trump. The article quoted Alperovich of Crowdstrike in the Atlantic Council. The next day, a new blog, Guccifer 2.0, appeared on the internet and announced, worldwide known cybersecurity company Crowdstrike announced that the Democratic National servers had been hacked by sophisticated hacker groups. I'm very pleased the company appreciated my skills so highly, but in fact, it was easy, very easy. Guccifer may have been the first one who penetrated Hillary Clinton's and other DNC mail servers, but he certainly wasn't the last. No wonder any other hacker would easily get access to the DNC servers. Shame on Crowdstrike. Do you think I've been in the DNC's networks for almost a year and saved only 2 documents? Do you really believe it? Here are just a few docs from many thousand I extracted when hacking DNC networks. Guccifer 2.0 posted hundreds of pages of Trump opposition research allegedly hacked from the DNC. It emailed copies to Gawker, the smoking gun. In raw form, the opposition research was one of the documents obtained in the Podesta emails, with notable difference. It was widely reported the document now contained Russian fingerprints. They cut and pasted the document into a separate Russian word template and yielded an abundance of Russian error messages. In the document's metadata was the name of a Russian secret police founder, written in Russian language. The 3 parentheses formulation from the original post in the Russian version of a smiley face used commonly in social media. In addition, the blog's author deliberately used a Russian VPN service visible in its emails, even though there have been many options to hide any national affiliation. So even it's bullshit. Hackers, computer experts are saying it's bullshit. Under the circumstances, the FBI should have analyzed the DNC computers to confirm the Guccifer hack. Incredibly, though, the inspection was done by Crowdstrike, not the FBI. The same Atlantic Council connected private contractor paid by the DNC that had already concluded in the Washington Post that there was a hack and Putin was behind it. You know the Washington Post that's owned by Jeff Bezos? You know Jeff Bezos, who the CIA gave him $600 million? Reputable source. There's no... FBI Director James Comey confirmed that in testimony to the Senate Intelligence Committee in January 17 that the FBI's failure to inspect the computers was unusual to say the least. We'd always prefer to have access hands-on ourselves if that's possible. But the DNC rebuffed the FBI's request to inspect the hardware. Comey added that the DNC hand-picked investigator Crowdstrike is a highly respected private company. That's a funny thing how like Democrats hated Comey when he was investigating her emails, then loved him when he stopped. Like, oh God. What he did not reveal was that Crowdstrike never corroborated a hack by forensic analysis. In testimony released in 2020, it was revealed that Crowdstrike admitted to congressional investigators as early as 2017 that it had no direct evidence of Russian hacking. Crowdstrike admitted it. And yet there's still dummies on the internet saying, oh, Russia, Russia, Russia. Crowdstrike's president, Sean Henry, testified there's not evidence that documents and emails were actually exfiltrated from the DNC servers. There's circumstantial evidence, but no evidence that they were actually exfiltrated. The circumstantial evidence was Guccifer 2.0. This was a crucial revelation because the thousands ships of Russiagate launched upon a positive assertion that Crowdstrike had definitely proven a Russian hack. Yet this fact was kept from the American public for more than 3 years, thanks to people like Rachel Maddow. Now that this story's out, is this blowing? Is Rachel Maddow like, oh my God, no, they're just going to cover it up. She's going to say thoughts and prayers and God bless Trump for COVID, another distraction, or have some debate about should we wear a mask or not wear a mask. The mask argument is another distraction. On December 22nd, 2016, Crowdstrike caused an international stir when it claimed to have uncovered evidence that Russians hacked into a Ukrainian artillery computer app to help pro-Russian separatists. Voice of America later determined the claim was false, and Crowdstrike retracted its finding. Ukraine's Ministry of Defense was forced to eat crow and admit that the hacking never happened. If you wanted a computer testing firm to fabricate a Russian hack for political reasons in 2016, Crowdstrike was who you went out and hired. So when anyone on social media is Russia, Russia, point them to this video or point them to that article. Stop drinking this corrupt DNC Kool-Aid telling you it's all Russia's fault. I know you don't like Trump. I don't like Trump either, but I haven't lost my critical thinking skills. I don't like Trump, but the DNC is corrupt. Both things can exist. Trump is evil and corrupt, and so is the DNC. Because let me tell you something. I lost my home because Obama let the banks steal it. And 6 million other people lost their homes. They're saying the number might even be higher now. Russia didn't steal my house. Putin didn't steal my house. WikiLeaks didn't steal my house. Banks that own both parties stole my house. Russia didn't prevent Hillary from campaigning in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Russia didn't do any of this. Crowdstrike confirmed it. The company that was hired to push this false narrative confirmed it. What more do you want? Jill Stein didn't do this. She has no ties to Russia. Julian Assange and WikiLeaks have no ties to Russia. They're given information and they post it online. The Clintons are the problem. Obama knew and did nothing. He's not a good guy. He wasn't a good president. I voted for him twice. I regret it. He was utterly corrupt and awful. He's awful. He dropped more bombs than Bush. Did the Russians want Hillary to win? No, because she's a war hawk. Obama had ramped up troops on the Russian border, NATO troops on the Russian border. Hillary was talking tough about Putin. All of those things don't mean Trump is a good guy and I like him and I'm glad he's president. Don't give me that, but Graham, Trump is... The DNC cheated and Trump is awful. They both can exist at the same time. Yeah. I like the taste of chocolate cake and it gives me acne. Get it? They both can exist at the same time. This proves it. This article proves it. But some of these vote any blue will do people will read this and still pretend they don't hear it. Just like the crazy Trumpers, where you could point to 5 lies anytime this guy talks. Here's a blatant lie. He said this, then he said that. They contradict each other. No, he didn't. He's Trump. He's great. Make America great again. The neoliberals with the college educations, you're even worse because you read an article like this and then you just go, nope, you don't want to hear it. The Bidens are corrupt. The Clintons are corrupt. Trump is corrupt. Jared, his kids are, his whole family's corrupt.